All right, let's jump right in. We're going to look at what has to be one of the most fascinating predictions from the ancient world. We're talking about a single prophecy that laid out two completely different futures for two of the most powerful cities on Earth at the time.
And really, that's the big question here, isn't it? I mean, could a prediction from, over 2,500 years ago actually nail the fates of two huge cities? And not just get it right, but get it right in two incredibly specific and totally different ways? It sounds impossible, right? Okay, let's get into it.
So the two cities at the heart of our story are absolute titans of the ancient Egyptian empire, Memphis and Thebes. You got to understand, Memphis was ancient even to the ancients, founded way back around 3000 BCE. It was the very first capital of a united Egypt. And then you have Thebes, its massive, powerful counterpart in the south. Think of them like the New York and LA of their time. They were the center of everything.
Okay, so to figure out what happened to these two megacities, we need to rewind the clock. We're going way back to a prediction written down in the 6th century BCE, specifically in the 30th chapter of the book of Ezekiel.
And this is where it gets really interesting. The prophecy makes three really distinct claims. First, it says that Egypt won't have a native-born prince ruling it anymore. And then, it lays out two completely different destinies for its two biggest cities. For Memphis, it says the idols and images will just cease to exist. But for Thebes, it says it will be taken by storm. Two very, very different predictions.
All right, let's tackle that first part about Egypt's rulers. On the surface, it sounds pretty simple, but there's a key detail, a little nuance, tucked away in the original language.
So here's the thing. The original Hebrew wording is super specific. It doesn't just say there won't be a prince in Egypt. It says there won't be a prince from the land of Egypt. See the difference? It's not just about any old ruler, it's about the end of the line for native homegrown Egyptian rulers. For thousands of years, having a foreigner in charge was super rare. But this prophecy, well, it was basically saying that was all about to change for good.
And you know what? History backs this up. Pretty soon after this prophecy was written, the Persians conquered Egypt. Then came Alexander the Great and the Greek Ptolemies, who stuck around for centuries. After them, the Romans, then the Arabs, then the Turks. We're talking about a string of foreign powers ruling Egypt for more than 2,000 years straight. The era of the native Egyptian pharaoh, that prince from the land, it was completely over.
Okay, so prediction number one seems to have checked out. But now we get to the really wild part. The strange, totally opposite fates predicted for Memphis and Thebes.
I mean, just look at this side by side. For Memphis, the prediction is all about erasure, right? Its idols and images will literally vanish. But for Thebes, it's about conquest, a violent takeover. So why? Why such totally different predictions for two cities that were both absolutely packed with temples and idols? It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense, does it?
Well, to get the answer, we've got to jump forward in time. We need to look at the history books and see what actually happened. Did the real fates of these cities actually line up with those ancient words?
Okay, let's start with Thebes. And yep, history shows it was absolutely taken by storm. And not just once. It was sacked by the Assyrians, attacked by the Ptolemies when it revolted, and then later, the Romans had to go at it too. So, that prediction of military conquest? Check. It definitely came true.
And this is the crucial part. If you go to the site of ancient Thebes today, what we call Luxor and Karnak, what do you see? You see a massive open-air museum just filled with countless statues, images, and idols. Remember, the prophecy never said its images would be destroyed. It just said the city would be attacked. And that is exactly what happened. The city was conquered, but its images are still there for us to see.
Okay, now for Memphis. And to really get what happened here, you have to picture the scale of this place. At its peak, Memphis had a population of 700,000 people. That is a true megacity for the ancient world. And for 1,000 years after this prophecy was made, it was still a huge, thriving capital city.
And yet, if you go to where Memphis once stood today, there's almost nothing there. A city that stood for thousands of years, packed with temples and incredible monuments, just gone. How does a city like that just vanish?
Well, the answer is pretty incredible. It all has to do with the founding of a new city, Cairo. See, when Arab conquerors set up their new capital just 10 miles down the road, they needed building supplies. And where'd they look? They looked at the ancient city of Memphis and saw a giant, free quarry. They literally took it apart. They dismantled the temples, the palaces, and yep, all its idols and images. They carried it all away, stone by stone, to build Cairo. So the city wasn't just destroyed in place, it was physically removed. Its images literally ceased to exist there, just like the prophecy said.
So, what do you do with that? We have a set of super specific predictions made centuries before any of this happened, and they seem to have been fulfilled in incredible detail. Let's take a look at how our source material wraps this all up. The argument from the source is basically that this is way beyond a lucky guess. Think about it. The two fates weren't just different. The specific details for each one matched perfectly. What if the prophecies had been switched? What if it had said Thebes' images would disappear and Memphis would be stormed? Well, history would have proven it wrong on both counts, right? But that's not what happened. The historical record shows Thebes was attacked, but its images are still standing. And Memphis's images vanished, precisely because the whole city was carried off.
And that really leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? Was this all just an impossible coincidence, an incredibly lucky guess? Or does the story of Memphis and Thebes, just as our source lays it out, point to something else entirely? Definitely something to think about.